what's your nature of your friendship with Eric Weinstein? How did such two interesting paths cross? Is it your origins in physics? Is it your interest in philosophy and the ideas of how the world works? What is it?
It's very random. It's Eric found me. He actually found Travis and I.
Travis Oliphant.
Yeah, we were both working at a company called Enthought back in the mid 2000s, and we're doing a lot of consulting around scientific Python. And we'd made some tools, and Eric was trying to use some of these Python tools to visualize. He had a fiber bundle approach to modeling certain aspects of economics. He was doing this, and that's how he kind of got in touch with us. And so
this was in the early.
This was in the mid 2000s, 07 timeframe, 06, 07.
Eric Weinstein trying to use Python,
to visualize fiber bundles, using some of the tools that we'd built in the open source.
That's somehow entertaining to me. The thought of that.
It's pretty funny. But then, we met with him a couple of times. Really interesting guy. And then in the wake of the 07-08 kind of financial collapse, he helped organize with Lee Smolin a symposium at the Perimeter Institute about, clearly, big finance can't be trusted. Government's in its pockets with regulatory capture. What the F do we do? And all sorts of people. Nassim Taleb was there, and Andy Lowe from MIT was there, and Bill Janeway. I mean, just a lot of top billing people were there. And he invited me and Travis and another one of our coworkers, Robert Kern, who is anyone in the SciPy NumPy community knows Robert. Really great guy. So the three of us also got invited to go to this thing, and that's where I met Brett Weinstein for the first time as well. Yeah, I knew him before he got all famous for unfortunate reasons, I guess. But anyway, we met then and kind of had a friendship, throughout since then.
You have a depth of thinking that kind of runs with Eric in terms of just thinking about the world deeply and thinking philosophically. And then there's Eric's interest in programming. I actually have never, he'll bring up programming to me quite a bit as a metaphor for stuff.
Right.
But I never kind of pushed the point of what's the nature of your interest in programming? I think you saw it probably as a tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
To visualize, to explore mathematics and explore physics. But and I was wondering what's his depth of interest and also his vision for what programming would look like in the future. Have you had interaction with him, discussion in the space of Python and programming?
Well, in the sense of sometimes he asks me, why is this stuff still so hard? Everybody's a critic, but actually, no, Eric.
Programming,
Eric,
you mean, in general?
Yes. Well, not programming in general, but certain things in the Python ecosystem. but he actually, I think what I find in listening to some of his stuff is that he does use programming metaphors a lot, right? He'll talk about APIs or object-oriented and things like that. So I think that's a useful set of frames for him to draw upon for discourse. I haven't pair programmed with him in a very long time.
You've previously
looked at his code, trying to help put together some of the visualizations around these things. But it's been a very not really pair program, but even looked at his code, right? I mean,
how legendary would be is that Git repo with Peter Wang and Eric Weinstein.
Well, honestly, Robert Kern did all the heavy lifting, so I have to give credit where credit is due. Robert is the silent but incredibly deep, quiet, not silent, but quiet but incredibly deep individual at the heart of a lot of those things that Eric was trying to do. But we did have, as Travis and I were starting our company in 2012 timeframe, we went to New York. Eric was still in New York at the time. He hadn't moved this was before he joined Teal Capital. We just had a steak dinner somewhere. Maybe it was Keen's. I don't know. Somewhere in New York. So it was me, Travis, Eric, and then Wes McKinney, the creator of Pandas. And then Wes's then business partner, Adam. The five of us sat around having this just a hilarious time, amazing dinner. I forget what all we talked about, but it was one of those conversations which I wish as soon as COVID is over, maybe Eric and I can sit down, recreate it somewhere in LA, or maybe he comes here because a lot of cool people are here in Austin, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're all here. He should come here.
Come here.